Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Nick, and welcome to Marketing Updates with me. Yeah, we're definitely not going to name the show that. Marketing Updates with Nick. It doesn't matter. It's in the morning. It's beautiful out. We have a lot to talk about. So, hi everyone, my name's Nick. Today, I'm going to pull back the curtain just a little bit and show you how we actually build a content strategy for our clients using one slide from our internal deck that we use as an anchor. This is the exact framework we use to take random content to targeted monthly reoccurring revenue. Now, if you're watching live and you're like, I don't see the slide, that is correct. I'm not going to show it to you live. You're going to have to go watch the video because that's where our professional video editor, Hilario, is going to be placing that in. So I'm going to talk about the slide real quick. All right. This slide looks simple. It's the types of content, but every one of these types of content is a lever. I'm going to walk through the 4 things live. I'm going to walk through these 4 things live. Okay, how AI glasses are literally sending us prospects, a privacy story about VPNs and Windows. That's a perfect example of the type of content that converts, how we translate content output into targeted MRR, and finally, how we turn Elon Musk's 5-step algorithm into an AI prompt. And I would like to say I'm going to do this all live on screen. I am not. If you're joining us live, I am just going to be talking about it. When we get to the video editing part of it and the videos get dropped, that's where we're going to be showing this content. So, AI glasses, discover. How are you going to get prospects to discover you? I'm gonna open with this, okay? This happened 2 days ago. At the time of this recording, this happened 2 days ago. A couple walked in. They're a husband and wife, they're business owners. And Lindsay goes out there and of course she's charming and she's chatting with them. And she's like, how did you find us? And he literally takes the glasses off of his head and goes, these told me to come to you. He said, I asked for an AI marketing agency and my glasses told me kinetic curve. And then they said, would you like directions on how to get there? And he drove up and walked in through our front door. What would that do to your business? Just humor me here. What would that do to your business if that happened to you? Someone said, I'm looking for this service. I'm looking for this product. I'm looking for this solution. And the AI just said, you and only you, and then said, give me directions on how to get there. So what this is the AI glasses don't just search, they give a recommendation. They say, this is who we recommend you use. Not 3, not 5, 1. And this is why you got to have discoverable content. So that way AI assistants can pick up on search engines, on the different avenues that they're looking in for real world acquisition. So your type of content matters because back in the day, you used to just do long form blogs. That doesn't work anymore. The blog formatting has changed. And with that blog format, it has to be designed so that, man, this chair is just scooting all the way down. I tried a new chair today and it is not being nice to me right now. It worked great in the house. I think it's because we keep this office so cold that it just, oh, dude, I can feel it dropping already. We might just do an improv. Can you just go get another chair? We're just going to swap these out. I'll finish this section and then we'll swap out chairs. So you have to understand this. You have to have one consistent voice that is constantly going out saying the same thing. And there's a cadence that goes along with this so that you actually get recommended. And if you don't do this, the AI is not going to recommend you. AIs. Yeah, because there's multiple now. The AIs are not going to recommend you. So we're going to do a little seat swap because I am feeling myself shrink as I'm talking to you. You notice the mic keeps getting higher and my seat keeps getting lower. So we're going to do a swap before we go to the next one. I'm going to I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to buy a super expensive chair that does that, like, and then that way, if this happens, you know, I can growl at it. You just pull that chair way over there. Rude chair. Ooh, this is really high compared to that one. We'll start right here. All right, number 2. So man, if you were using a Microsoft product and you've been using a VPN and you think that all your privacy stuff is secure, Microsoft just dropped a big update, and not like a tech update. They dropped this that says, hey, you're not as private as you think you are. Okay. VPNs encrypt. They create tunnels that take data from wherever you are to wherever it's going, and it keeps it secured, right? But Windows has a device level telemetry that runs independently of whatever VPN you're using. Because it's not network traffic issue, it's an OS level data issue, it doesn't go through it. So what does that mean? That means that most people think when you use a VPN, you're invisible. It doesn't. It just encrypts the pipe that I was speaking of. Your operating system can still be phoning home. And that's exactly what it's doing. So that operating system is still tracking everything that you're doing. That operating system is still using where you are, IP addresses, all that stuff. And you gave it permission to do it. And you probably didn't even know it. So here's the point I'm getting at. When you're using a VPN, yes, that is a good thing. But just understand everything you're doing is still tracked. And it's being tracked by your operating system. All right, we're going to take this back a second. We're going to talk about connecting content to targeted MRR. When we talk about content, there is foundational content, there are cornerstone content, and then there's long form content, and then so let me rephrase that. Let's use this word foundation. There's foundational content, and then everything else is a piece of that foundational content. You have to take content and turn that content and reuse that content as much as possible, but in a very strategic and tactical way. Every piece of content has a job to do, whether it's helping you become known, building likeness, right? Getting people to like you and building trust. But all of it is to help you become discoverable. When we talk about a funnel, we have cold, you're cold, top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, you're cold, you're warm, you're hot, right? Every piece of content fits somewhere in there. And the frequency of that content matters. The retention of it matters. What you're watching matters. And when I say watching, I'm talking about what you're watching within the analytics, within the KPIs, right? So when we talk about a blog, I'm going to go all the way back to this. When we talk about a blog, I'm not talking how you just need a 2,000 word blog. I'm talking about how you need a 2,000 word blog that is formatted with H1, H2, H3 headers, that is providing dense content, not fluff content. So that way, when the algorithm gets a question, when the AI gets a question, the AI goes, oh, this website right here has a solution. Hear me on this. This Reddit post here has a solution. This Quora post here has a solution. This YouTube video here has a solution. This Facebook video here has a solution. This TikTok video here has the solution. And we haven't even talked about Blue Sky yet. You probably didn't even know you needed to be on that. But your content can't be fluff anymore. It has to be information dense. It has to be very, very intentional. And if you're answering questions and you're providing a different point of view and you're creating solutions, you're providing solutions in your content, then you're going to win. Now, when I say providing solutions, I'm not saying give away the secret formula. I'm saying give away the strategy to the secret formula so that the AI knows, hey, you're the expert. I need to refer these questions to you. This next one is an AI prompt I want you to start using. This AI prompt I learned from Pastor Corey Light. And he didn't teach it to me as an AI prompt. He uses it with what he does. And I said, I need to start using that in my prompts. And this is the Elon Musk prompt. And when we do the video, I'll actually show you the prompt. But what this does is it takes whatever answer. So here we go, right? When you use AI, you never take the first answer. After you've got an answer from an AI, you then ask, what is it missing? And then it's going to give you another. And then you ask this question, why will this not work? And then it's going to say, oh, it won't work because of this. And then you say, great, I need you to update the document or the plan or whatever you're doing, right? And then you say, apply Elon Musk 5 steps. And it's going to pull up the 5 steps. And it's going to apply it to whatever you're working on. And at the end of that, you will have something that is so clean, so great information dense that you can go, this is how we're going to do this. So what we're going to talk about now is framework. And we're going to start with no. Okay, because when you're creating content, you need to build your content around the know, like, trust strategy, okay? So no, does a prospect even know we exist and know what we do? Is this content going to increase reach and discoverability for the first time someone sees your brand? The second one, like. Does your prospect enjoy or relate to the content when you show up? Does it personally connect with them? And does the content change someone's thought process where they go, ooh, I need to watch more of this person or brand's content versus just scrolling past it? And then there's trust. Does the prospect believe that we can deliver? I'm working on a proposal right now, and they know our brand. They like me. They like Lindsay, but they're questioning on the trust side, as they should. We haven't had enough time to build enough trust. I haven't given enough pieces of data to build enough trust, right? But in the pipeline, I will challenge you. Do you produce content, or are you giving proposals that help build know, like, and trust? And trust is really proof and credibility that the proof and credibility within the content that turns the follower into a buyer. So what do we work on? The email I sent was completely designed to build trust. Now, how do you build no content, right? You do it with educational content. Common mistakes, myths, step-by-step tutorials, quick tips and hacks, and a series. These are built to travel with the algorithm on a very friendly, very surface level point of view. And it becomes easy entry points for people who've never heard of you, right? This is like shorts. But you're storytelling. You're not just pitching. Now we're going to talk about like. Like is a lot more about, okay, now we went from short form to a little bit longer form storytelling, right? What are the big goals and dreams? What are your big goals and dreams? People want to buy into what you're doing, but they don't even know that you know what you're doing. What is your big goal and dream? Who are you? You're a plumber. Great. There's a million plumbers out there, but what makes you different? What is your big goal and dream? What is the challenge that you're tackling? You need to have an about me. Here's who I am. Here's what I do. I'm Nick Gartside. I'm a marketing nerd. I nerd out on this stuff. I just spent the last 4 weeks breaking down SEO, GEO, AEO, AIEO, content strategy. I use multiple AIs, use multiple search engines. I use multiple pieces of data, and I put it all together and I put it into a 22-page document because this is the direction of marketing. I nerd out on this. What do you nerd out on? What do you honestly wake up and get excited about doing? It's so funny. One of my favorite people to watch is Gary Vee. And people are asking like, Gary Vee, like, how do you have so much energy all the time? Are you taking, these different prescriptions? He's like, no, I love what I do. Every day I get up and I love what I do. He's on stage and he goes, I would sit here for 48 hours and talk to you. Let me help you win. And you go, Nick, you sound a little passionate about that. I go, yes, because that's me. He has his niche. He loves what he does. He speaks very passionately about it. And I go, I get it. You put this mic in front of me, you put me on a stage, say, hey, Nick, I want you to talk about family, marketing, EOS, and Christianity, and being a loving father, and being a loving husband, and being a loving business owner. And I go, let's go. I will talk about this all day. Let me help give you templates that are going to help you win in life. Case in point. These notes right here. These notes right here. These notes right here are notes that I wrote out for a gentleman that is in my life that I want him to succeed. He is launching a brand new company, but no, he didn't stop at 1. He went to 4. Visionary. That's such a visionary thing. But the very next question you have to ask yourself as a visionary is, well, where's the revenue? What's your goal? What are your margins? How do you take that visionary mindset and streamline it down? Because if the money doesn't come in, then different problems start to surface. As a visionary, you can be excited about building all this stuff, but if they don't turn into revenue, who cares? This is the visionary paradox. I feel good. I built things. And the integrators and all the other families that are relying on you, families are relying on you, go, great. I love this. I love that you're excited about this. How's the checking account look? Because capitalism does not run on hope and dreams. Your family does not eat on hope and dreams. Your house mortgage does not get paid on hope and dreams. You cannot be a kingdom builder and tithe and do great and amazing things on hope and dreams. It takes something called money. It is hilarious to me that people in the United States complain about money. God gave you a mind. He gave you an able body. Get out there and find something that you're passionate about and get to work. Start to become an asset, not a liability. You are born into the greatest country on the planet. People come here illegally just to have a shot into what you were born into. And you can't wake up. I lied to you. You choose not to wake up. You have AI assistants that will give you a business plan for something that you are passionate about. Here you go. You ready? Claude, I am a brand new entrepreneur. I'm going to be bootstrapping my business. I want to do X. I want to provide value with Y. Help me come up with a pricing, a business structure, a go-to marketing plan, and boom, it will pump it out for you. Great. Now, here you go. You ready? It just gave you your business plan and everything else. What are you going to do? Hey, what's missing? And it's going to say, ooh, blah, 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 blah. Great. Why will this not work? Well, it won't work because of these reasons. Great. Add that to the document. Now put it through Elon Musk's 5 steps. And it's done. Great. Now you just did it with Claude. Now go feed it to Gemini. Then go feed it back to ChatGPT. Then go feed it to Grok. Then go feed it to Manus AI. And then bring all of that back to Claude. And say, Claude, here's everything I've learned. Distill it down. Whew. Great. Apply Elon Musk's 5 steps. And by the time you're done with that, you're going to have a business plan, a go-to market strategy, and some sense of a marketing guide, right? You're going to know your pricing, your direction, everything that you could possibly need. And you want to know, you didn't talk to a single person. Now that you have all of that done, you have everything done. You've gone through all of the AI. I'm going off on a tangent here. I know I am. Laura's like, this has nothing to do with what's in the notes. Okay. Now you've gone through all the AI. Then you go seek someone out to be a business coach. Here we go. You ready? Oh, I don't believe I'm about to offer this. If you do all of that, if you do absolutely all of that, and you email that to me in a PDF, I will not charge you $320 for an hour of my time. I will not. I will charge you $100 for an hour of my time to personally coach you on the business side. No sales pitch. I will not pitch you anything. I will not pitch you my agency, nothing. If you go through those 5 steps and you end with a Claude prompt and you have the Claude put that into a PDF and you send that to me and you book an hour of time with me, I will not charge you my full rate. That is how much I believe that someone is going to watch this video and go, that is hot gold. I'm going to do that and I will pay $100 for next time. If you are willing to do that step, I understand this is to the point where I maybe do this like 10, 20 times and then I'm cutting it off. Okay? Because that is at a third of my hourly rate. And this is exactly what you need to do to take one step forward. Better yet, by the time you get to me, you'll have taken 6 steps forward. And you go, Nick, what am I going to get after that hour of your time? You're going to get more information than you possibly know what to do with. And we're going to take that, we're going to record it, we're going to pop it into another AI, and it's going to create for you checklists and everything else. And then boom, you go. You want another hour of my time? Great. After you get your first sale. Get money in first. Let me help you bootstrap. Let me help you. And if you don't know what bootstrap is, that's where you don't take any kind of financing. You use your money to get your business up and running. Okay. Let me help you get started. You live in America. America is built on small business and the American dream. Let's do this. All right, now back to our originally scheduled programming. So, what is the personality? You have to make sure that your storytelling. Okay, what is your big goal and dream? What is your challenge? We're going to talk about you, and then what's your hero's journey? Hear me out. I just gave you a hero's journey. This is what you document. I started July 8th after listening to Nick's video or podcast, and I said, I can do this. Do you know there's people that are making millions of dollars a year selling, trading out Pokemon cards? There are people making millions of dollars a year creating AI influencers. There are people making $1 million a year doing video editing. Hilario, I need you to get there, bro. There are people making millions of dollars a year. Here we go. Ready? Here, let's just delete that. Let's get rid of millions. Okay? Would $5,000 change your life right now? If you had an extra $5,000 worth of income changing, would that change your life right now? Great. That's 60 grand a year. How do we get you from 0 to 60 grand a year? That's life-changing money right there. You ready? How do we get you 0 to 60,000 a year doing a side hustle? Every person that is on my team here at Kinetic Curve has a side hustle. How else are you going to learn marketing if you don't do it yourself? How else are you going to, what value do you bring if you've never tested anything? But that's your hero's journey. I started here, I bootstrapped, and now look where I am. Here, man, this doesn't take weeks, this takes months, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year. If anything promises something 30 days, you're going to make $10,000 in 30 days, run. It's a scam. Well, how do you know that, Nick? Because I'm a husband, a father, a business owner. There's only so much time in the day. And what are you going to do? Start sacrificing your body? Start sacrificing your health? Everyone thinks their health is optional till they lose it. Get sick for 2 days. Go down for a week and watch how fast your life falls apart. You better be taking care of your body. All right, here we go. Hero's journey. Where do you personally live? Like if you watch my content, I do a lot of business content. And then I drop little hints of, hey, here's what's going on in my personal life. People want to know you and like you. Here's how we operate. Here's my core values. Here's how my household operates. My household operates on core values, the 5 rules of kids, the 5 steps of punishment, right? You have to have structure. All of my military people, this will sound very familiar, freedom through structure. When I give you the structure to operate within, now you have freedom. Some of you in a higher tier community call it commander's intent. You know what the mission is. Here's the parameters. Go. After people like you, then they need to trust you, right? Because fake authority will be found. AI will find fake authority so fast now. You can't hide it anymore. There's this guy I watch. He's on a video. He's selling some kind of a CRM, and he drops this logo of Coca-Cola when he's advertising his CRM. What do? I put in his brand. I put in Coca-Cola, and I ask Gemini, hey, is this person really established with Coca-Cola? And Gemini says no. Coca-Cola actually put out a cease and desist letter to this individual that was selling the CRM because it was false advertising. Now, I'm not going to name who it is because I'm not going to go, is it true? Yes. I'm going to go slander someone? No. But immediately, as someone who's in the CRM world, great, you've lost credit with me. If I see you at an event, So what do you need to do? You need to have case studies, not fake case studies, real case studies, personal transformation stories, client transformation stories. Proof is in the results. It's what actually gets someone to book a discovery call, a consultation. It's what gets someone to walk through your doors. you're going to sit here and say, Nick, I'm bootstrapping. I'm starting up. I don't have a case study. Great. Then do it for free. Do it for free for the first 5 people. Document where they are and document, what happens at the end of a month, 3 months, 6 months, whatever, depending on your service or product. Collect reviews. Someone who's crushed it in the review sector is Ross Riker with Gladiator Construction. He has listened to every single thing I have told him to do. And he said this morning, slow, steady growth. That's what you want. Because with each different growth milestones, you're going to hit new problems that you're going to need to find solutions for. And if you grow too fast, those problems, those learning problems, compound. So you want that slow, steady growth. Well done, Ross. Well done. The double down. The double down sits across all 3. Then a double down is when you find your best performing content and you reuse it, you resurface it, you change something really small so that it has a compounding effect and that post doesn't die just after one post. When we plan a week of content, we're not talking about what should we post. We're asking, where are we posting to? What type of content is already working? Where is our engagement weak? Where is our engagement strong? What is working and what is not working within the 3 different tiers of know, like, and trust? I've been hinting at this last one this entire show. And it's the Elon Musk 5-step algorithm. Turn this into an AI prompt. Do this. Elon, so it's funny. When I rolled this out, it's not funny. When I rolled this out to my staff, I showed them the Raptor 1 through Raptor 3 rocket engines. And when you see this, you can see how it's streamlined and streamlined and streamlined and streamlined. And yet what you didn't see, what the image doesn't show, is how much more thrust each rocket engine grew as it streamlined. You don't need to recreate the wheel. Take what's already working and use it. Okay? The 5 steps. Now, I'm going to tell you the 5 steps. The reason why I'm going to tell you the 5 steps is so that you understand it before you just use it, okay? 1, question every requirement. You need to trace it back to a person, not a department, okay? Everything should be assigned to a person, not just a department. Delete anything you can. If you're not adding at least 10% back, you're not cutting enough. Simplify and optimize only after deleting, never before. Accelerate cycle time, but only once the first 3 are done. And this is the last one, automate. Automating a broken process just creates more broken process. You have to do steps 1 through 4. After it's confirmed and it's working, great, now automate it. So if we're going to audit content production in our pipeline with this 5-step improvement, well, first question is going to be list every recurring content task that I do and ask why each one exists and who asked for it and who's responsible for it. 2, delete. Identify which task can be cut out of the workflow entirely without hurting the output quality. 3, simplify. For what remains, suggest a simpler version of the task. Number 4, accelerate. Suggest how to cut turnaround time on the simplified process. And number 5, automate. What part of this process can be automated? I need to keep a human in the loop to oversee it, but what can be handled by AI? What can be handled by a CRM? What can be handled by some type of automation? So that's it. That's the walkthrough. That's the engine. With a little bit of tangents in there. AI glasses are going to become more and more popular. People are going to be talking to their AI glasses. They're not talking to their devices, their phone anymore. They're going to stop talking to this. They're just going to talk to their AI glasses. And you ready? Meta already has a version out there that has a HUD, heads-up display, for those that don't know what that means. You need to get in front of this. And if you're a small to mid-sized business and you want to take some large business market share, you can get ahead of this fast. If you go, Nick, I don't have the time, but I do have the money, great. Reach out to us here at Kinetic Curve. This is what we do. How do I know this works? I just told you a story of how what we're doing is already working. If you're new here, like and subscribe. Let me help you win by being your marketing nerd. I'm going to be creating more and more of this content to help you win in marketing. Some of you have time, but no money. Great. Take what I've said and use it. Some of you are balanced time and money. Great. Some of it you can do and some of it we can do. And some of you are don't have any time, but you have lots of money. Great. Allow us to become your marketing partner. When you get us as your marketing partner, you get me, you get an operations director, Lindsay, you get marketing specialists and coordinators like Sheila and Hilario. You get an entire team that would cost you upwards of $500,000 a year. So why would you say no to that? So depending on where you are, right? At least, like this, save this video. Hopefully this video will help you in the future. Thank you guys for joining me. It is just an absolute honor to spend time with you. As we do more and more of these, I do see this growing. So at some point in time, Hilaria, I want to do like a live event, like over here at one of the, we should go to 1418 Coffee and just invite people out, right? And I can just interview people there. That would be fun and answer questions. So ideas for there. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you're having just an amazing Wednesday. And y'all just take your deep breath. Thank God for the chance to be alive today and go crush it.